Hi, I'm Andy Holzman of Family Tree Counseling Associates. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I work in Carmel, Indiana. My number is 317 457 8668, or you can reach me at aholzman, Holzman 2 at Comcast.net. I'm entitling this video The Time Bomb and the Steamroller. Now, the time bomb and the steamroller are two archetypes that I use to explain how people deal with their feelings. The time bomb is someone who holds in their feelings and keeps it in, and the trajectory usually is this person is very caring and very giving and very codependent and very there for somebody else, and they are focused on that other person, and they hold in their feelings by focusing and avoiding their feelings by focusing on that other person. And that works for a while because you can avoid your feelings, but eventually your feelings come up and you get frustrated and you get angry and you get hurt that the other person isn't like you. Your partner in the relationship is not seeing all your efforts and not seeing all your love, and so the frustration builds and it grows, and eventually you become, if you're the time bomb, the explosion happens because you become very naggy and very critical and very difficult, and this change is dramatic, but it probably takes a lot of time, or does take a lot of time. And then that doesn't work, being naggy and being critical with someone who's oblivious and cut off, and so you just shut down. And so the trajectory goes from being very present in a positive way to being present in a negative way to just shutting down. And that's the time bomb. The steamroller is someone who avoids their feelings by just focusing on the goals, focusing on the concrete, and they just bull their way through life. They just keep on going. They just focus on accomplishing. They have feelings, of course, and the feelings are inside, but they don't pay attention to them. They're oblivious to them. And if challenged in the rightness of what they do, they get very upset, and that's when the feelings come out. So I wanted to just talk a little bit more about the time bomb and the steamroller. The time bomb is a worrier, a thinker, a projector of bad possibilities. He or she has learned to go along to get along. Abandonment and loss predominate the fears of the time bomb. This individual lives life rationalizing their partner's behavior because they have to be this person who is, in their own mind, they have to be this person who is a caring and loving person, and they've picked someone who may not get all the care and all the love. They've picked someone to help them work out their inner feelings that they're avoiding by just being Pollyanna-ish. So they can rationalize this behavior in whatever way they do. They can put up with abuse, or they can put up with shutdown. They can put up with being avoided in that way. And so their abandonment issues come up, but they don't know how to work on them. This person questions often why they're staying in the relationship. They may ask other people, is this the right thing to do? And they may get the answer, well, no, that person, your partner is a jerk and you should leave him. But they don't usually take that advice because their pain is dependent, and their feelings are, and their expression of their feelings is dependent on having that other person and having that person be who they are, so they can possibly feel like a martyr, feel like a victim, blame them. That's another possibility for the time bomb, that they're just needing in some way this person to be in their life to help them feel superior because they don't feel so superior. So they don't take the advice of other people, and maybe 5 years or maybe 35 years before that explosion goes off and they become that shutdown person. Before that, they become that naggy person. The time bomb often learned in their family of origin to take care of others. So they had a parent who was very needy, and they may have had a schizophrenic parent or a depressed parent. So I'll have clients who at 6 or 7 or 8 years old learn how to take care of the other siblings, learn that they have to cook and they have to clean and they have to take care of themselves. Or they have parents who were just not getting along and they were triangled into their relationship and had to emotionally be there for the other parent. or a parent has died and they have to be emotionally there for another parent. So somehow this person has learned to be a caretaker, and they've learned to avoid dealing with their own feelings. And that becomes an issue in their relationship because they pick someone who is emotionally distant, and someone they have to care for emotionally and reach out to. And soon enough, the time bomb will go off and those feelings will come up. Conversely, the steamroller can't really show a lot of feelings, and they can't abide by being challenged. They have a strong reaction to being wrong. They have strong shame feelings. This individual feels cornered and defensive and acts reactively when feeling disrespected or criticized. Being wrong in his family of origin meant shame and belittlement. I had a client who thought his father thought he was perfect, and the mother really was a non-entity and didn't challenge the father. Even at this age, he doesn't know who his mother is or who his mother was. But his father was this powerful person who thought he was perfect and belittled his child at every instance because the child wasn't perfect. And really what the child was just being a kid, being a person who was imperfect, just like everyone. But this shame of being imperfect has stayed with the client that I see for 65 years. And he's just feels imperfect. He is a healthy adult in many ways, but that shame and that difficulty in feeling imperfect certainly comes out in the relationship. And so if he's being criticized, if he's being seen as being less than perfect because that was his adaptation, he's going to react. And he's going to react, or a person will react by either shutting down and going away when they're being criticized, just emotionally going away. They may drink, they may go to work and spend lots of time at work, they may go out with friends, or they may be ragey, they may blow up. And so the steamroller had parents who were either abusive or addicted or in some other way dysfunctional and still expected perfection from this child. The steamroller feels both strong and untouchable. They are usually pretty competent people, but they also feel pretty scared and pretty vulnerable. And they will do what they want in a relationship and then be offended if their partner feels that, well, I would have liked to be let in on what you're doing. The partner might feel upset or criticize those actions that were unilateral. And when the steamroller gets criticized, he shuts down. He shuts down and doesn't react to the feelings boiling within him, or he might blow up and just kind of be very reactive. Sometimes the partner of the steamroller would prefer the blow up because they don't get very much in that relationship. They don't get a lot of emotional intimacy and emotional connection. So they provoke the blow up. So the steamroller is this wall of walled off person who just doesn't react and doesn't say very much, and the other person, the spouse, feels very alone and feels very needy for some kind of connection. And so the time bomb and the steamroller marry each other. The time bomb is going to get that naggy kind of critical thing to try to reach out, to try to get through to the steamroller, and he may or may not react. He may blow up. I've heard someone say that when he did react, she was very happy, even if it was, raging and critical. Other times it can be very frightening for somebody who comes from a abusive or chaotic, frightening family. So it just depends on the particular individual. But that person who's married to the steamroller will more than likely keep on pushing to try to get a reaction. So thank you for listening. That's just a little bit about steamrollers and time bombs. Time bombs and steamrollers both have fears. They both want to, at their core, they're little boys and little girls who want to be loved and cared about. But often we learn in our family of origin how to handle it in ways that we learn to adapt in ways that aren't healthy for us. They may work in terms of our life choices, our work, but in relationships, relationships are very powerful sources of bringing up and bringing out unresolved feelings. Thank you for listening. I'm Andy Holzman of Family Tree Counseling Associates, 317-457-8668, or aholzman2 at comcast.net. And talk to you soon.